What is up, comic fans? Welcome to the Legion of Comics. I'm Mark, and today I'm about to give you my top 10 picks for this coming week's new comic book day. If you want to see what they are, don't go anywhere. Check this out. Be sure to check out the homies over at Big Time Collectibles if you like retailer exclusives, FOC books, and all that good stuff. So if you don't have a comic shop near you, they can definitely help you out and follow them on social media so you don't miss out on all the cool books they're dropping constantly. The link is in the description. And a huge shout out to my local comic shop where I pick all my books up, ABX Comics and Games. Be sure to check them out, especially if you're into comics or tabletop gaming. They're running different events every night of the week at this point. They're rock and roll at their brand new location. All right, so let's get into it. Like I said, this is my top 10 picks for this coming week's new comic book day. There's definitely a lot of books coming out specifically from one publisher. You can already guess it. This is definitely going to be DC heavy today. There is one book that made the list that is not DC, and you'll see why here shortly. But we're going to kick it off with the Dawn of DC stuff. They've been rocking and rolling since they started this new initiative. A lot of new titles, a lot of new number ones, all pretty much miniseries. But they've been pretty much good across the board. We're kicking it off with Adventures of Superman, John Kent, issue number 5. So as of now, this is the penultimate issue that was billed originally as a 6-issue miniseries, unless they decide to extend it. I have not seen any announcement or news on if they're going to do that or not yet. So as of now, it looks like this is the second to last issue. It's been dope. He's over on the Injustice world, having tried to stop Ultraman and hopping around the multiverse. This is where he ended up, finding out that his father of this world is the crazy authoritarian ruler of the planet. So it's not going very well for him. He's just now figuring out the dynamic of Batman and the rebels against Superman, and we're going to see how it plays out. We haven't had a direct confrontation against him and Kal-El yet, but it looks like in this issue titled Blood and Steel, it might be coming down to that. Next up, speaking of Steel, we have issue 2 of Steelworks, again under the Dawn of DC banner. This is definitely a 6-issue miniseries as well. We got the whole principle behind this one is that John Henry Irons is using his company to instill all kinds of new technologies into the infrastructure of Metropolis, being that there's so much stuff that happens all the time. He's tired of all the people having to feel like they have to depend on the superheroes. There's nothing wrong with having the superheroes there for you, but you should have some kind of sense of person, like you don't have to need them. So they're trying to put all these new technologies into the buildings, into the roads and all this, so that they're more safe every time something pops off. A building doesn't collapse on people and everything like that. But of course he has people that want to see him stopped. His rise to the top means other people had to fall from grace, and they're banding together to try to come for him. So I'm definitely going to check this one out. I'm on the fence right now if I'm going to pick up a floppy copy or if I'm going to try to move over to digital reading on this. I do have DC Universe Ultra tier, so I get stuff really fast on my digital app, and a lot of this stuff is coming extra early as well. But I still might pick up a floppy copy because I do the new DC Day live streams every Tuesday around lunchtime, where books that I don't necessarily want to add to my PC, I'll pick up and I'll read them and I'll give them away that day. So be sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on those live streams every Tuesday. Next up, and I'm huge excited for this, Peacemaker Tries Hard, issue number 3 from Kyle Starks. This is the spirited sequel to season 1 of HBO Max's Peacemaker. Fantastic series. And when I say spirited sequel, I mean this is in continuity with that show pretty much, and what we've seen in the movies with the Suicide Squad. They're just kind of expanding it down the road a little bit. It has all the quirkiness to it. It's really edgy. It's definitely R-rated. And we have some villains looking to use Peacemaker for his assets to try to get ahead in life. Like you have a brain in a vat needing a body kind of thing. But they turned on that last issue, shot him, left him for dead, and we're going to see him licking his wounds and probably coming back for some revenge. Based on the reflection in his helmet on this, I'm hoping that we get some more Suicide Squad members in this. We don't have an active Suicide Squad title running. Peacemaker is the closest thing to it, and I'm definitely down for anything Suicide Squad DC Comics is willing to throw at us. Now, stepping outside of DC Comics, we have my one independent title this week, and it comes from Image Comics. It's Tom King's Love Everlasting, issue number 9. This has been a wild ride. It's spanning all sorts of time and space at this point. It's a complicated story, and it's very, very unique. We have our primary character, Joan, finding love, dying, and being reborn in a different time and a place, and in a different situation, and trying to figure out what's causing this. First off, recognizing that it's happening and trying to figure out what and why it's happening. And she's pretty much fed up with it and is about to push back. This is definitely not one that I think that everyone would enjoy, but if you're into like just absolutely brain twisters, well-written stories and stuff like that. It's very unique. It's written like a classic 1950s romance book, but the artwork in it's fantastic, fits really well. It's just, I've never seen anything else like it. It's kind of super unique. And then coming in at number 5 on the list, and this is where things are about to get terrifying. We have Night Terror's First Blood, issue number 1. This is the first official installment in this 2-month event that will be kicking off at DC Comics this coming Tuesday. So what we have here is a big interruption in our reading. That's how I feel right now about it. I've been excited for it, then I stopped being excited for it, then I got a little bit excited for it when we saw how Green Lantern issue 2 or 3, how Green Lantern issue 2 ended. It was seamlessly transitioning into Night Terrors. But then we read Superman this past week, and it was like full stop, and we have to wait 2 months to get back into the story. So I'm on the fence really about the whole event. I hope that it's good, and because I'm going to read the whole thing. There's a lot to read with this one. I'm about to say tie-ins. They're not tie-ins. Pretty much every character in their ongoing series is getting affected by this event. So what we have here is the Justice League goes to the Hall of Justice, and they find one of their oldest villains lying dead there. And they need to investigate the murder, and it leads them directly into the nightmare realm, where they were thrown there by a brand new villain named Insomnia. While there, they're having to face their biggest fears, and we're going to see them facing those fears in their individual titles. All of them will have 2 issues, just 2 issues, where we see them facing their fears. That's where the interruption comes in. So for 2 months, we get Superman Night Terrors, Batman Night Terrors, Wonder Woman Night Terrors, and so on. But while doing this, they're going to have to enlist the help of some people beyond space and time, starting with Deadman. We know that Wesley Dodd's Sandman is coming into play here as well. So there's some really cool elements about this. There's some fantastic covers. I just hate the interruption. It's not like a standard tie-in where your normal series is running and then they run into a character who's dealing with the event. No, the actual book itself, they're all going to be in Nightmare Land for 2 months. And it does kick off this week as well. And that's where the remaining 5 books on this list come in, because we have Night Terrors Batman number 1, Night Terrors Ivy number 1, Night Terrors Joker number 1, Night Terrors Ravager number 1, and finally Night Terrors Black Adam number 1. Now, me personally, I would definitely still be picking up that Batman one. I would still be picking up Black Adam. I wouldn't be picking up Ravager, but I will be reading it for this event. There are some interesting factors with Ravager, especially going through Joshua Williamson stuff with the Robin series he did, knowing that they introduced Respawn and he died in the Shadow War. So there's some really cool stuff that they can touch on with that. The Joker, on the other hand, he's facing a 9-to-5 day job. Don't really care. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be funny. We'll have to see where it goes. Ivy, I'm not reading Ivy. I know that series is getting a lot of high praise, so this could definitely be a sleeper hit right here. But I'm going to check them all out. And if you want to know what's going on in them without picking them up and having to read them yourself, you just want an idea, every Sunday night at 9 p.m., I go live for At Weeks In, where we dive into all the books for the week and everything. And on top of that, if you check out Sector 2815's YouTube channel, that's my co-host for At Weeks In, one of my best buds here on the platform. We do a DC Comics deep dive that uploads every Monday over there. We covered Dark Crisis. We covered Revenge of the Gods. We've hit a lot of stuff with the Dawn of DC stuff already. And we're going to be covering Night Terrors every issue along the entire way. So if you want to get an idea of not just what's coming out, but what's happening in those books, be sure to check out his channel. Subscribe over there. We don't do a lot of content. We have the deep dive on Monday and Guess That Key every other Wednesday. Fantastic game show. So that's going to be it for this week's new comic book day. If you want to know what my top pick for this week is going to be and why, check out the Comic Vets channel. We got a little video that pops up over there every single Sunday. So let me know in the comments what you think of Night Terrors, the whole event. Are you in for it? Are you out for it? Are you skipping it altogether? Just going to stick with the titles that you'd be picking up anyways. And what else is on your pull list for this week? I'm definitely excited to talk comics with some more people. So be sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the join button, become a channel member today. And until next time, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.